Hello everybody, my name is Else and I've come today to talk to you about foraging, about eating plants in our environment right here at Camphill School of Beaver Run. The person who first taught me about eating wild plants is Janet McGavin. I show you her picture. She lived in Beaver Run when I first came here, and she would go even out in the winter and scrape away the snow and eat the little plants which she would find under the snow. And she taught me many of the plants which I will show you today. Now, to begin with, we will look at what is right here. We are down near the office at the little bridge, and what grows here in abundance is the bamboo. Now the bamboo has somehow a bad name because bamboo just takes over and spreads like anything. But we can also eat the bamboo, and I will show you how. Here we are at the bamboo patch. There you can see the grown, mature plants, and here are the new young ones coming out like spears en masse. They are even so determined they come right through the blacktop. Now, with the bamboo, you don't even need a knife. You can break it off right where it makes sections. See? Quite easily. And the inside is very good to eat. You peel off the outer layers, and inside it's bright green. And you can use it as a stir fry, you can cut it up, or you can dry it. You can even eat it now. It's very delicious. All right, so here we are, finding another one of the plants which is really good to eat, especially at this time in the spring, before it starts to make flowers and become older. It's the jewelweed. You see it here, you see it here. Let me show you what part of it we eat. Later on, it has orange flowers, and it's very good as a remedy against poison ivy. But it's also very nice to eat. Particularly the stem. You see, I take the leaves off, and the stem is very good. It's like an asparagus. You can steam it or stir fry it, and it's just delicious. And you see everywhere jewelweed growing, coming up out of the ground. Part of this beautiful forest is covered in jewelweed. So, to remember the jewelweed, I wrote down its name. You can look at its leaves, so you might recognize. And I will put it right here, so we can press it maybe and get to know it really well and take it along. All right, let's move on. All right, here by the creek, we can find watercress. I'm going to park my basket over here. Now the watercress is already starting to make flowers. We want to take some of it which is still just before it makes flowers. It really likes to have its roots in the water. And it tastes good on sandwiches or salads. A little bit sharp, a little bit peppery in taste. Very nice. You can mix it with cream cheese. But it's only in the early spring. Now it's starting to make flowers. That's getting too late. But I found one which is not blooming yet. Here's our friend the watercress. I'll show you the flowers too, that you have an idea what to look out for. They are white flowers, like many little stars. See, this is what it looks like when it starts to bloom. All right, so here, can you see this? A white flower, and the leaves are like an umbrella. Look, like little umbrellas go over it. Sometimes 5, sometimes 6 lobes around it, and beautiful white flowers. Now they will later on make a little fruit, the May apple, but you have to be careful. It has to be just the right color, turning a little bit yellow. If you eat it when it's green, it's not good for you. So we have to wait with that still, not the right time to pick it. Look over here. What do we have? We have a patch of stinging nettles. Now, stinging nettles are very helpful for many things. First of all, they have a lot of iron. So, if you feel tired and run down, for women when they have their time of months, they feel depleted, stinging nettles are wonderful. They are a bit stimulating. You might not want to have a stinging nettle tea late in the evening because it really gives you extra energy. You can also use just the leaves and use it like a spinach. I've made this Greek spanakopita. It's a pie which you make with phyllo dough and feta cheese. And I used the stinging nettle leaves instead of the spinach. It was very delicious. You can also make soup, again, like a spinach soup. Very nice, a little bit more tart. Maybe you want to mix half spinach, half stinging nettles. Or you can take them and dry them and make a tea. So sometimes I go behind my house where there are some stinging nettles growing, and I just cut a little sprig, put it in my cup, and pour hot water on it, and it makes a great little teacup. Very nice. But if you want to use it like a vegetable, you need to take a lot, because you have a whole bag full and it shrinks, and it's just so small at the end that you think, how can that be? We picked so much, and it turns into little, but the taste is quite concentrated. So I will add it here to our list of things. There. Where is my tape? I'll get a little bit of tape to keep it in place, and then later we can press it like you would for a main lesson book to learn about each of the plants. Stinging nettle is also used if you are a biodynamic farmer. You use the stinging nettles, you harvest a lot, and then you bury them for some time. And afterwards, it's very helpful for the plants. Or you can put a lot of them in a rain barrel. Have it sit with the water and use that for your plants. Again, it's very helpful, especially if you have a lot of bugs. The stinging nettle strengthens the plants. Now, let us see what else we have growing around here. Over here is some garlic mustard growing. The garlic mustard got a kind of bad name because it's an invasive plant. The settlers brought it over. You see little white flowers at the top, and the leaves are sort of jagged also, spreading out like a net. But they taste very good. They taste a little bit like garlic and mustard. And you can make a pesto out of it, or you can add it as a condiment, like a herb, to things which you might be eating. So some people think we should get rid of it because it grows everywhere. And other people feel it can be useful, we can eat it. But there's really a lot of it. You can see it all over the woods. And right now it's starting to make seeds. So we'll make another page for the garlic mustard. Garlic mustard. So we can remember all the different things we've been picking along the way. I think maybe I don't need my gloves. They don't hurt me. It's only the stinging nettles which are prickly. Here we go. Take my scissors. There. Now it can come with us. Good. Let's see what we find next. All right, let's see what we come across next. Pokeberry. Oh, we have to find some dandelions. Too bad, all the violets are gone. Violets are very nice. They are like nature's vitamin pill. But we missed it. We're too late for them. Ha. Here we go. So, over here is a plant which people usually think is very poisonous. But not all parts of the plants are poisonous. Only the dark berries, pokeberries. Pokeberries are poisonous later on in the summer. See, right now you have a fat stem and the leaves you take off. And this is a very nice. Again, it's like asparagus. This is the time of year when you find lots of wild asparagus. Pokeberry stems are delicious. So, such a good flavor. But you have to get it while it's young. Same as the jewelweed. Get it when it's young. Then it tastes really good. And at the same time, it builds up your immune system to eat what is in season, to eat what's in your environment. So very good, very healthy. Pokeberries when they're young. Oh, I didn't take one for our book. Maybe I'll find another one. Aha, this one will be in our book. Just so we remember. Let's take another page, write down its name, and we'll put it on there to come home with us so we can later remember what it is. So pokeweed or pokeberry. Take it with us. And I'll tape it down so we remember what belongs to what. Here goes our pokeberry. Good. Let's see if we find anything else. Yeah, so now we're coming to the end of our walk. There's one plant I really still want to look for, which most of you will know very well because it grows everywhere. Let's see. Oh, I see one ahead of us. Most of them are just going to seed, but here is one which still has a flower. Let's see. This is the dandelion. Let me show you some of the leaves too. See how the leaves are all pointed and jagged. The name dandelion comes from the French. Dandelion means the lion's teeth, as if a lion's teeth had eaten it out. Very pretty. But many people think this is just a weed. They might even want to get rid of it. They don't know that all parts of this plant are actually edible. You can eat the flowers, you can have them in your salad, you can just eat them as you walk along, you can make a syrup from it or a jam. The leaves are very good, a little bit bitter, but very healthy. And you can even eat the root. It has a long tapped root going down into the ground. You can dry it and make a kind of coffee from it. After you dry it, you put it in a blender, and then you have a kind of coffee. So dandelion is a very useful weed. What is a weed? Well, a weed is a plant which grows where you don't want it to. But otherwise, there's no difference. And I like the dandelions. They're very cheerful plants. They are also used in one of the biodynamic preparations. Then you have to collect lots of them and bring them together, put them into a special skin, and they will be buried. And they become like medicine for the earth. So dandelion is a wonderful plant. Look at these. They're just getting ready to make seed, and you know what they look like big puffballs. And you can blow them and their seeds go off, or the wind will take them off wherever they go. So this is a marvelous plant. I'm very happy we still found one, because most of them are just, look, have nothing on them at the moment. You have to always find the right season for everything. Yes, I think that's it. Now we go on our way. Oh, listen, I was going to put it together. Here I put its name, and here is the plant. I'm sorry I did not dig up the root. That's not part of this session today. Maybe another time. There we go, dandelion. So now we've come inside and we can review what we found when we were out. This was my friend Janet McGavin, who first told me about edible plants which grow in the wild. Now, these plants are not in order. Remember the violet, which you can eat, you can make a syrup of, you can even make a jam, but this season is really over. They don't grow very much anymore. Here's our pokeweed. You don't want to eat pokeberries later on, but the stems are very good. They're really just like wild asparagus. Here is the garlic mustard. garlic mustard, which gets chased away because people think it shouldn't grow here, but it's everywhere. And it tastes so good. You can really use it as a condiment. Make a pesto or eat it in your salad or cook it with things. And this one you don't want to touch. This is a stinging nettle. But the stinging nettle, actually the rash you get from stinging nettle usually doesn't last very long. However, once in a while, people are really allergic. I just heard from Michael that he got a very bad reaction, but that's kind of rare. So the stinging nettle is good to make a tea from. You can eat it like a spinach. You can make a soup. Personally, I like to mix it. I take like half spinach and half stinging nettle because it tastes a little bit strong. Lots of iron in the stinging nettle. Here is the watercress. Also, it's the end of the season. It's all starting to bloom now, but it's very delicious. It's very nice to have on your sandwich or in your salad. I don't think I would cook it so much, but to eat it fresh is very nice. And mostly it grows in water. Watercress is a good name for it. So put on your rubber boots when you find them. Oh, this plant is already wilting. I think it was one of the first we picked. The jewelweed. The jewelweed, which is so helpful for poison ivy. It's very delicate, very gentle. And it's the stems, which are good to eat now, before it gets too old. Again, it's like a wild asparagus. Ha! Look at this one. I forgot to pick a bamboo to take along. I think we just ate it when we picked it. But maybe you can remember the bamboo. Only very young shoots, not the old wooden hard ones. And in the end, the famous dandelion. I think the one thing you would not eat is the big puffball, which you can blow the seeds, or the wind blows the seeds. But the flowers you can eat, the leaves you can eat, and the roots we didn't pick, which can make a kind of coffee when you dry it. So, lots of good uses for the dandelion, which people think is just a weed. So you can see, outside around us, Mother Nature is very generous to give us so many things to eat and things to build up our immune system so we don't get sick. So this is what I wanted to share with you today from our walk up from the office, through the Easter Glade, and back to the road up here by the schoolhouse. All right, goodbye.